Hey, welcome back to the Mindverse. And in today's episode, we have a very special guest. In a few seconds, I'll introduce you to my interview with Dr. Marco Giannecchini, a neuroscientist and a true brain enthusiast who learned how to apply neuroscience to every aspect of his life. In our interview, we dived into his experience with neuroscience in business and neuroleadership, a totally new mindset towards leading your life. Stay tuned and make sure to check out his website and take a look at his very own inspiring book in the description below. As always, make sure to like and subscribe so we can keep producing Mindverse content for you.
Yeah, so my story, I can tell you that since the beginning of my medical school in Pisa, Tuscany, I've been always interested in the neuroscience of the optimal experience. And so at that time, I was just thinking to find an answer to questions like how we can motivate ourselves, how can we achieve performance in a way that we don't get burnout, and at the same time, how to be happy and have a fulfilled life. And so in studying medicine, I realized that the medical school was just giving informations and experience which were limited to the body, of course, body and brain. But
Yeah.
I thought that there was something that was still missing. And so I started to enlarge my horizon. And I discovered, for example, reading the books of Professor Mihail Csikszentmihalyi, that there is an incredible evidence that explain many interesting facts about the so-called neuroscience of the optimal experience that he called flow, as you know. So I started to become interested in the psychology of this optimal experience of flow. And so my basic taking lesson that I've got at the time was that if you are able to enter in this optimal state of mind, you feel relaxed, you are concentrated, and you are focused, you can achieve everything that you want, and at the same time you feel happy, intrinsic motivated, and you have an experience as your actions will be meaningful. So for me, it was like to find the holy grail of, let's say, the perfect solution of what I was looking for. And so I started to create, I founded my own agency, Flow Consciousness Academy. So
It's okay.
And yeah, and in my Flow Consciousness Academy, I'm dealing with the best flow hacks that I think that people should use in order to be every day at the highest performance level, to become more creative, more resilient, and as I told at the beginning, to find fulfillment and meaning in what they are doing. And yeah, and so this is in a short recap what I've done during the last 10 years.
Wow. Yeah. So that was a very thorough response.
Yeah.
You pretty much answered a couple of my other questions, but if you would want to also add to this, how does understanding neuroscience help with creativity in your daily life? And you can work around this a little bit because I know you already answered in a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
ways.
Well, it's very interesting, and it's a very good question, because we tend to associate creativity like a sort of gene of being genius. So like something that is only for special people. So something that maybe is only for supermen or superwomen, which is apparently not the case. So getting involved in neuroscience and studying articles and reading and speaking with people, at the end, there is a convergency that it seems that creativity is not just something for genius mind, but the creativity just correlate to a very strong cognitivity between different networks of the brain. Okay, so and this is a very important topic. So it means that everyone can become a genius, given the fact that through specific training and through, of course, also specific discipline, dedication, and so on, you are capable to activate at the same time different parts of the brain. So creativity comes from the fact that you make the best use of the same time of different parts of the brain. And of course, flow shows that coming into the flow state, this is exactly what is happening. So you make the best use of the brain. So, and so neuroscientists say that, so there is, for example, there are three kind of important networks. There is a network that allow you to wandering with the mind. So for example, you are just in a mode of exploration, and this is very helpful in finding creative solutions. Then you have another kind of brain that helps you to have focused thinking and selective attention. And we know that in the flow state, there is a transient hyperfrontal activity. And all these things can be strengthened with practice. So it means that you can become a creative person, even a genius, if you just practice these interconnections. And I think it's very good news for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all ties back to neuroscience.
Exactly. Yeah. This is my religion. This is my home, and it's my soul. Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. That's really inspiring. So currently, like at this point in time, this past summer and this year, what work are you doing with neuroscience to like how are you applying flow in your life, and how are you applying neuroscience to business?
Yeah, no, I'm very glad that you give me the chance to also to thank the company where I'm working for, because in my actual company, I have two kind of main activities. On one side, I'm digital consultant, and on the other side, I am Heli for mental health and well-being and neurodiversity. And this gives me the chance to keep going in parallel with the research on flow, but especially how to apply neuroscience to business, because my passion is not just to have this theoretical construct in my mind, but apply neuroscience to what makes people more efficient, more successful, and so on. So basically, my research is nowadays dedicated on how to apply neuroscience to business, and there are also different sub-dimensions. For example, I'm very interested in how flow can help people to become better leaders, and I think that again, flow can empower leaders to become so-called transformational leaders. So, and I use the terms consciously of neuroleadership, because I think that applying neuroscience to business for a leader means that he can improve his mental well-being. He can at the same time he can be a better leader in the way that he can create and manage agile teams. And I think that in this environment where the neuro leader is acting, I think that this is the environment where the team, the client can experience cutting edge innovation, because I think that this is exactly the environment where the new innovation and creative solution can come up. And so I would say that I'm very thankful for my company, because this is, I think, exactly the right time in this post-COVID era, where neuro leaders or leaders are facing a lot of problems in getting people motivated, and there are new developments in terms of new way of working and communications within the company. So it's very important that people understand, so for example, how the brain works, and because they can in this way better manage themselves, and they can also be better accepted by the people, just leveraging on what makes us human. And you know that we have in our brain a fantastic organ, and my belief, my strong belief, is that we can become only better only if we are able to make the best use of our mental resources, and neuroscience is, of course, is the fundament of everything.
Yeah, I mean, the work you're doing is phenomenal. Like, oftentimes you'll see that people are trying to help others explain neuroscience and understand the basics and fundamentals of neuroscience, which is something that my YouTube channel has been trying to do as well. Give like strategies to work on basic behaviors and help understand neuroscience for your daily life.
Yeah.
But very few people actually try to apply it and find ways in their careers, in their daily life, in their attitude to actually use neuroscience and apply it to leadership and interactions with others and how to deal with others. So that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm very grateful for having this chance to speak with you. So for me, you are like an hero, because everyone who is trying to educate people in this way, for me, you are contributing to the evolution of humankind and human conscious. And I always really, I don't want to become too, let's say, too critical, but I think how my life would have been if I would have more neuroscience in my first years of my school experience, because I've learned many things about geography and history, but I started to study neuroscience when I go to the university, and this was at the age of 25. So I think that it's very important through what you're doing and also through the education is just to let neuroscience come into the household of everyone, so that also the child can understand and can start to think, for example, how to solve problems, how to become more creative, how to have resonating interaction with other people. This is not something that is just for adults, it's for everyone. And the sooner you start, the better you will have, the better life you will have. So really congratulations for all your efforts, and very feel really proud to be part of your journey.
Thank you very much. That
Yeah.
means a lot. And so for my last question for today, do you have any tips that you can give my audience and me as well to help achieve a flow state in our lives?
Yes, well, I want to bring that really to a very basic point. And for me, the point is success is nothing else than applied focus over time. So
Mm.
a successful manager is not a Superman or a superwoman. It's just someone who set the goals every day and achieve the goals that he has settled for himself, and he just stay focused. So that's why I'm always coming back to flow. And the best tips that I want to share with you are just related on the way how to achieve goals and how to stay focused during the day and over time. So my best tips are, before you start your day, before you start to open your laptop and start to read the hundred of emails that are have been sent to you, just set the goals that you want to have on that day, 3 goals, and you achieve, and try to achieve them. No matter what it happened, you just stay on that goals that you want to achieve, 3 goals per day. And then another thing is, don't be too lazy, and don't try to escape from your comfort zone, because again, the flow science shows that if you stay in your comfort zone, the flow effect will be minimal. So make it everything challenging. Try to raise the bar a little bit, so that you experience what you're doing as a little bit more challenging. And the more challenging the task is, the better the flow effect, the better the learning effect will be. So again, stay focused, take care of yourself. Don't try to escape this wrong belief that if you are working more hours, you will be rewarded for the numbers of hours. So instead to work more, try to work smarter. And the important point is, just take care of yourself, listen to your body. And if you feel stressed and if you are tired, just stop. Maybe you can take a power nap of 20 minutes, but just give the body the chance to recharge. And then there are these small life hacks, like, for example, if you're working, just focus on work and turn off all your social media, Instagram, turn off your private phone, just work. And then you have the Instagram fun part after. And Yeah, and then maybe the last thing is like the old Greek philosopher, like Plato always said, try to know yourself, try to how your brain is working, try to have a feeling of your body, of your mind, because if you're able to understand how you are working and how your body and your mind working, then you will see automatically that you will be much more capable to navigate through the day and become legendary at the same time, but also in a effortless way. And this is my message. And again, this is not impossible. It's just a question of having the right approach. And I think again, Flow offers very, very good techniques and hacks on get to that goal.
Yeah, I jotted a couple of them down for myself. I'm definitely going to try and incorporate them in my daily life. You know, discipline myself a little bit more, set my goals in the morning, work out of my comfort zone. These type of things I think are really, really helpful. Work on my own health. I mean, like oftentimes I'll be studying a lot for a test the next day, but I have no energy and I feel burned out. And I think the best solution is to take a power nap, as you said, and
Yeah.
get back up and keep going. So yeah.
And this is I think the best way, because for example, um, we we have been wired to, let's say, to finish the school, to get a job, and then have the career, the 34 years of career. So nowadays there are always disruptions during the professional. So maybe it can be that in 20 years you are exactly in a situation where you have to learn something different, something new. Maybe you have to quit a job and start, or maybe you have your own entrepreneur business company. And so it's important, the attitude is more important than the skills. And I think that neuroscience gives also the best frame to have to develop an attitude that will always serve you over time till the last day that you spend on the planet. Again, if we want to live till at the age of 100 years old, I think that we also have to learn how to make the best use of our time,
Yeah.
and then evolve. Thanks a lot for this fantastic opportunity, Aryan.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining this and sharing your insight with us. And I guess the number one lesson is that everything is about neuroscience. Everything is about conquering your mind. And from that, you can become a better person and better mentality towards life. So thank you so much for everything, Marco.